Good Saturday morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing. A look at fire potential for the next 7 days. Our impacts, none today on the widespread scale. Thunderstorm area tomorrow, and actually the area of concern and time-wise is late Saturday evening through Sunday morning with a developing upper-level low-pressure system. And although we have no impacts on Monday, we are looking at winds increasing across Nevada, possibly gusting to 35 miles per hour. The driest fuels are across central and southern areas of Nevada. A look at precipitation over the past 24 hours, very light amounts across our far northern and eastern areas. Just a handful of lightning strikes up here, but again, wet fuels along with precipitation, those concentrated lightning well off to the northeast. We have had some increasing fire activity, some fires across the northern and eastern areas of Utah and one down south of Las Vegas. Precipitation over the past 7 days, most of it up in our northern areas, green areas, varying shades of a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain, locally higher amounts, but bone dry across southeastern areas of Utah and southern Nevada. And on the right-hand side, that's actually percent of normal precipitation for the week. You can see it's mostly in our southern areas where it's anywhere from 5 to 25% of normal. So looking at our field conditions, we'll start with a longer-term drought, extreme drought across the Four Corners area, actually exceptional drought down there, extreme drought moving up into the higher terrain of central Utah, and severe drought conditions across most of the rest of Utah, and actually even moderate drought conditions extending to southern Nevada. Our ERCs are benign, fairly moist, towards or below the 50th percentile in about 3/4 of our area, but it's our eastern and southern areas or southeastern areas that are starting to get near critical levels, especially across southeast Utah, where a lot of the ERCs are above the 90th to 96th percentile in the darkest red. A closer look at some of our new PSAs and fuel conditions. Up here across our southern areas, the Monuments and Arizona Strip area, ERCs are halfway above normal to near record levels, so that's basically at normal late June levels through there. And across our southeastern area, Great Basin 32, which goes up towards Moab, you can see that ERCs there are at record high levels. So that's those are the areas we're concerned about if we get windy conditions or lightning strikes. Satellite imagery shows a trough of low pressure exiting up into the plain states, a high pressure on the broadside moving on in with drying conditions. However, you see this little weak low with very little moisture at this time coming out of the Baja area. It will track northwards through Arizona into Utah and Colorado over the next 36 hours, and some of our computer models are indicating there could be just enough moisture to fire up some thunderstorms across some of those areas in southeast Utah and the Arizona Strip where our fuels are the driest. So here's a look at our upper level map for today. You can see that dry low pressure area starting to gather a little bit of moisture. This is a tongue in black here indicating some developing mid-level moisture, but usually we don't get too excited about thunderstorms until we see pockets of green through there. Green is what most of our predictive service areas are in terms of significant fire potential, except across the extreme south and southeast. Relative humidity down south in the single digits to low teens, moderates quite a bit as you head further up into Nevada, near 20%, drier across southern and western Nevada, and of course Idaho and Wyoming, our H's are basically 20 to 30%. Light winds across Nevada, some gusty winds, especially this morning, and will continue to the afternoon hours across parts of the Arizona Strip and southwest Utah around that low pressure area. Winds actually coming out of the north. Now, for late tonight into Sunday morning, here's what's happening. That dry low pressure area, you see it starting to develop a bit of moisture here in that grayish and greenish area through here, right along the Colorado-Utah border. That sometimes coincides with nocturnal lightning activity. We don't anticipate that it'll be widespread enough to warrant high risk, but several strikes, maybe a couple of dozen possible across the Four Corners area and into southeast Utah late tonight. Now for Sunday afternoon, that moisture really blossoms into widespread, probably wet thunderstorms across Colorado. We dry out across most of our area. Fire potential on the right-hand side, again, most critical in the southern areas. Relative humidity tomorrow, again, single digits to mid-teens across southern areas of both Nevada and Utah, moderating to the upper teens to 20% range as you head further north. Winds starting to gust a little bit off the Sierra Cascade front into far northwestern Nevada. Also getting some strong winds here across northeast Utah. Some of this could be blowover from thunderstorm activity in some spots. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Now Monday, trough low pressure, and we'll be on the drier side of it across Nevada, so winds will increase. It'll stay fairly dry. Notice the PSAs here start shading over into the yellow category, still most critical to the south and east. And there are those winds coming across northwest Nevada. The pink shades, gusts of 35 miles per hour, 25 to 30 mile an hour winds widespread across the rest of Nevada into parts of western Utah. And humidity levels, single digits to low teens in a lot of those areas across the southern half of the region. 3-day precipitation from this morning through Tuesday, just a few pin drops, a couple hundredths of an inch across the Uintas and across southeast Utah. So that's why we're a little bit concerned about lightning strikes in the next 24 to 36 hours. Going further down the road Tuesday, another trough of low pressure coming in, again with limited moisture, but southwest winds will start increasing. And again, no changes. Most of our PSAs are in the green except for the southern third of our area. Similar story on Wednesday. Thursday, again, trough low pressure deepening, moisture deepening across the Pacific Northwest into parts of Idaho. Still fairly dry, though, across Nevada and into Utah. So again, the winds will be affecting our southern areas, and that trend will continue again into Friday. Drier air punching in, some strong gusty winds, maybe some thunderstorms, a little bit of green here across parts of south central Utah. Precipitation accumulation over the next 7-day total, again, most of it where it occurred in the first 3 days. The 8 to 14-day outlook shows above normal temperatures across the entire area. Does hint for some moisture across the four corners, almost a prelude to the monsoon, although not quite monsoonal moisture, could affect our southeastern areas, possibly with some lightning. So we'll keep an eye on that. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.